So, as a director, you are looking through the eyes of Miss Hopkins, played by Jennifer Lewis, but you also had to look through the eyes of Bradley Taylor, played by Zach Lane. What was your mindset on set to bring the balance to their interactions?
It's another great question. So this was co-written by a really good friend of mine. We sat down and wrote this. Obviously, the premise and the core of the story was based on my personal experiences, but Ryan Romine, my co-writer, we've written 5 shorts together, and I rely on him a lot in terms of bouncing off ideas and figuring out scripts and that kind of thing. And I remember talking to him about the story, much like I'm sharing with you about the background and my mother and all of that. And one thing we really wanted to set out to do or try to figure out how to do is one, not make the shooter, as you've articulated as previously, this twirly mustache, evil villain person, right? So whatever we think of a school shooter is fair game, right? That person doesn't deserve a whole lot, right? We already know that person. You have to be going through something pretty sick uh, to feel compelled to go to a school, right? That's in
They're
kill.
broken.
That's yes, that's a different kind of brokenness, uh, and so I don't think we had to preach to the choir on this person's bad. But we also didn't want an over amount of sympathy for this individual because I'm not sure they really deserve that either. What we to go back to my earlier point, all we wanted was just a sliver of humanity for that person too. Just a sliver. If there was just a moment from Miss Hopkins' POV, we can view that broken person as a person. I think that was the perspective that was interesting. So that was the balance we were really looking for. Could we remove the black cape version of this person for just a second, not to make them in any way heroic or sympathetic, but just as a person for just a moment through the eyes of this teacher who has several tasks in the moment, right? Between that standoff and who else is in the room, not to give too much away on the film, but that's the balance we were really looking for. Could we endow this person that we view a particular way with just a smidgen of humanity for a moment through the eyes of this person who is attempting to balance a whole bunch of things at the same time?